What if, tomorrow, a small nation, with the population of Norway or the landmass of New Zealand, secretly attained the world's most powerful military? Not through magic, but through a decade of diverted funds, covert alliances, and technological leaps, hidden behind economic treaties and diplomatic neutrality. This is not a fantasy. We assess this solely through real-world logistics, strategy, and inevitable consequences. The initial condition is absolute secrecy. The arsenal is built in underground facilities financed by a sovereign wealth fund. Cyber and space capabilities are developed under civilian tech corporations. Hypersonic missiles, next-generation stealth drones, and a compact but utterly dominant navy are acquired or built piecemeal. The doctrine is not conquest, but deterrence through overwhelming, undeniable force. On paper, by year 10, this nation's military power index surpasses that of any superpower. The world remains unaware. The first strategic move is not attack, but the creation of an impenetrable defense shield. A layered system of anti-air, anti-missile, and drone swarms renders the homeland a fortress. The goal is not to fight a war, but to make the cost of conflict with this nation mathematically unacceptable to any aggressor. Secrecy cannot hold. A satellite image, a defector, or an anomalous energy signature triggers suspicion. The first global reaction is not fear, but disbelief. Intelligence agencies dismiss it as a miscalculation. Then, a second, confirmed report emerges. The geopolitical shockwave is instant. Alliances fracture. Every treaty is re-examined under this new reality. The nation breaks its silence with a calibrated demonstration. A simultaneous, flawless cyber disabling of 3 major global surveillance networks, followed by the peaceful deorbiting of a defunct satellite with a ground-based laser. No lives lost. A message delivered. Capability without aggression. The world is now forced to engage not with a nation, but with a paradox. A supreme military power with no expansionist ideology, only a demand for absolute sovereignty and non-interference. This is where theory meets reality. Power is not static. The superpowers respond, not with immediate war, but with relentless, multi-dimensional containment. Phase 1. Economic strangulation. Every asset linked to the sovereign fund is frozen. Global banking access is severed. The nation is cut from the SWIFT network. But a nation that planned for this has already moved to a blockchain-backed, resource-based currency, tied to its own rare earth mineral stockpiles. The economic pain is severe, but not fatal. Phase 2. Diplomatic isolation. Every alliance the nation cultivated now comes under pressure. Neighboring countries, under immense threat, host foreign bases. The nation becomes an island, regardless of geography. Phase 3 is the permanent shadow conflict. This is the true test of sustained power. Assassinations of scientists, accidental explosions at covert facilities, constant electronic warfare jamming civilian grids. The superpowers do not launch a single missile. They wage a war of attrition, probing for a single point of failure. The small nation's advantage was its concentrated surprise force. Its weakness is its lack of strategic depth. It cannot lose a single aircraft carrier because it only has 2. It cannot afford a failed harvest because its arable land is limited. Its population, no matter how resilient, exists under perpetual siege mentality. The military, however advanced, must be manned by humans who need to sleep, eat, and whose families feel the pressure. Sustainability, not victory, becomes the core challenge. The world adjusts. New counter-technologies are developed at a frantic pace, funded by collective superpower budgets 100 times larger. The technological gap closes month by month. The small nation's supremacy had a shelf life, and the clock is ticking. We now move to escalation. A miscalculation occurs. A superpower reconnaissance vessel probing territorial waters is captured. Its crew is paraded. This is a red line. The superpower's response is a limited kinetic strike, targeting a single isolated military installation. The small nation's doctrine mandates a disproportionate response. It does not attack the superpower's homeland. Instead, it demonstrates strategic paralysis. It uses its cyber supremacy to shut down the power grid of a major ally for 72 hours. It uses precision anti-ship missiles to sink 2 destroyers in a distant fleet exercise. The message? You cannot hurt me without consequences you cannot bear globally. The world holds its breath. This is the brink. But at the brink, raw military power reaches its political limit. The small nation now faces the final, insurmountable obstacle: coalition will. Its actions, however justified under its doctrine, have united every other nation against it. A global embargo, not just on goods, but on information and intellectual property, begins. Its satellites are blinded by coordinated laser dazzling. Its undersea communication cables are located and severed. The nation is technologically cast adrift. Internal stability becomes the critical front. The social contract, absolute security in exchange for absolute sacrifice, begins to fray. The leadership faces a choice: escalate to a catastrophic level no one survives, or seek a negotiated, face-saving de-escalation. This leads to three realistic outcomes: none clean, none a total victory. Outcome 1. Managed decline. A secret treaty is brokered. The nation agrees to dismantle certain capabilities under inspection in return for normalized economic relations. It remains powerful, but no longer supreme. Its experiment becomes a cautionary tale of overreach. Outcome 2. Internal collapse. The pressure cooker explodes. A coup or a popular revolt overthrows the strategic elite. The military complex is dismantled in chaos, and the nation is absorbed into a new security bloc, its sovereignty a memory. Outcome 3. Perpetual stalemate. A new, tense equilibrium sets in. The nation becomes a fortified hermit kingdom, a permanent anomaly, its people isolated but secure, its power a wasting asset, slowly eroded by time and innovation elsewhere. The final analysis is this: concentrated, sudden military power can disrupt the world order, but it cannot sustainably control it. Power exists within ecosystems: economic, diplomatic, social, and psychological. A small nation lacks the ecosystem to sustain supremacy. It can inflict unacceptable costs, but it cannot build a lasting alternative. Its ultimate limit is not another military, but the collective adaptation and resistance of the international system. The takeaway is not about who wins, but about the nature of power itself. True strength is not the ability to win a war, but the resilience to sustain peace on your own terms. Unchecked power in isolation consumes itself. The world is a system of pressures and counterpressures. Any single node, however hardened, will eventually fracture under the weight of the entire network. For more analysis that separates geopolitical fantasy from strategic reality, stay with us here at Think Cell.